So there's people who do you wrong, and then there's people who do you wrong. There are people that have done me wrong, right? Same old something, right? Who have now seen not only that they were wrong, but they have now seen just how wrong they were. The truth has been shining ever abundantly in a way where not a cloud, not a cover, not a lie, not a cover up, not a scheme, not a scandal, not evil forms or people using magic for evil. Like none of those things can hide the truth in this season, in this time right now. The truth is shining. Every lie that person has been telling is coming and has come to light. And people are seeing just how wrong they were. I'm remembering a conversation that I had with this chick, right? So there was these two chicks. One is Ashley, and then the other was Christina. Ashley, I stopped talking to, right? Probably about a year and a half before this conversation that I had with the Christina chick on the phone. Christina calls me. I don't answer the phone purposely because I wasn't on speaking terms with Christina either. And she texted me as if it was an emergency. And so she knew that was the one way she could get me if she needed to, right? And so I answered the phone. And of course, it was a gimmick, a scheme to get me on the phone. Now, this was years ago, right? But she gets me on the phone. It turns into an hour and 45-minute conversation. About 45 minutes into the conversation, I'm hearing spirit tell me to be quiet, stop talking. And I was like, why? Okay. But I'm like, I didn't listen, right? I later on find out that the entire time I was on the phone with Christina, Christina, Christina's gone. No, so the entire time I was on the phone with Christina, Christina had me on three-way with the Ashley chick. Christina thought that she was going to catch me in some lies, right? Christina and Ashley thought they were going to catch me in some lies if I didn't know that Ashley was on the phone, right? And I remember towards the end of the conversation, Christina was just talking and blabbering. Oh, you're such a bad friend. You're this, you're that, blah, blah, whatever. And I literally started laughing at her. And she was like, she said, what's funny? Like, why are you laughing? I said, because there's going to come a time when the truth is going to come to light. And you're literally going to see just how wrong you are. 311 o'clock. You're literally going to see just how wrong you are about me and about this entire situation. Phone call ends. Fast forward maybe 2 or 3 growths later, I get a call from Christina out of the blue. She was like, oh my gosh, you were right. Can't believe it. She was like, Ashley had lied to her about something so deep, so dark, so just evil. She was like, I just know you would never say or do anything like that, Demetria, blah, 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 whatever. And I told her, I said, I'm glad that you now know the truth for yourself. It don't faze me because I knew what the truth was. It hurt me initially knowing that you, as my friend, you called me your sister, would think that I would do the shit that Ashley was accusing me of doing. It hurt initially, it did, right? But we're in this season now where like people are now seeing the truth for themselves. For 414 on the clock, people are now seeing the truth for themselves, and it is mind-boggling to them how 422 on the clock. It is mind-boggling to them. Peace and prosperity. It is mind-boggling to them how every lie that they were told, how none of it adds up now that the truth has come out. Tis the season, baby. People will do you wrong, right? So there's doing you wrong, but then there's doing you wrong, right? When a person has actively chosen When a person has actively chosen to um, disrespect you, to disregard you, to mistreat you, to throw you under the bus because they think they got you in a position where you're going to need them, in a position where you're going to just ultimately bow down. And then they finally see it for themselves, the truth. An inkling of the truth showed up. And Christina finally started to see that like 95% of the shit that Ashley had been telling her was a lie. And I told her in that moment, before that phone call ended, I said, you're gonna feel stupid when the truth comes out and you see everything I'm telling you is real. 555.5. We're no longer in a season where the truth can be covered up, smeared. There's no type of magic that they can use in an evil or ill will capacity that's going to cover up what's meant to be brought to light. Right? God has stepped on the scene. I'm gonna make a separate message about that. God has stepped on the scene, and the time is now. Peace and love you for being. I love you. I love you. I love you. If you haven't already, make sure you tell a friend, tag a friend, tag a friend, and tell a friend. This is Little Pieces of Me, a sanctuary of safety. Listen, a sanctuary of safety for Alethea's truth to peace, purposefully empowered. Welcome to the land of paradise. Empowered by freedom. Until next time, my beauties. It's it.